we're going to watch. It's on Nerdrotic Daily. It's probably a clip from a live stream or multiple live streams. That's what they've been doing on Nerdrotic Daily recently. By the way, I don't know how many spoilers we're going to have in this video. Daredevil ended on Tuesday. It's been several days now, but there might be spoilers on this, so I do apologize. There might not be. I haven't watched the video, so let's see.
Listen up! This ain't your boys' club anymore! Hey, Kingpin, all that power talk, save it. I'm the authority in this ring now. I'm stronger, smarter, and 10 times louder. Down with the patriarchy!
So this is interesting. This doesn't exist in Daredevil. So they're creating something. They're creating a clip to sensationalize Daredevil. All the stuff that she's saying is something they typed into a prompt. This didn't occur in the episode. So what are we criticizing here? We're starting out the video poisoning the well already. Oh, we get a 2-for-1. This is from the Nooner. This is the Nerdrotic Nooner that gets canceled almost every day or shifted every day. It doesn't really happen like it's supposed to. Okay, so we have X-Ray Girl, who barely says anything. Nerdrotic, and we have Chris Gore from Film Threat. Now, we were going to watch a Film Threat video. That was one of the options. But he's here, so we're getting a 2-for-1. We're getting a 2-for-1. Now, they're watching the clip before we get into this. This is a very short clip towards the end of the episode where everyone is getting an opportunity to show some form of like pushback against what's been happening for the most of the finale with things that were going on in the finale. So this is a very short clip. It's like a 10, 15 second clip. Let's see how they crash out over this.
Get the fuck out of here. She weighs 105 pounds soaking wet. That guy was armored, has a gun, is bigger and stronger than her, but a couple of elbows to the face and he's done.
It's a TV show based on a comic book. We got a blind guy with echolocation abilities, a regular dude called Kingpin who seems to have Hulk strength going around doing things. We have a guy who can hit any mark he wants. All of this exists in the show. A woman who, like Jessica Jones, who has Captain America level strength and powers. All of that exists, but your issue is that Karen has a very quick scene that shows that all of the training that she's been getting throughout the show from Matt has paid off. Which is quite literally what you guys asked for. This is quite literally what you want. You don't want people to just show up, or women, I should say. You don't want women to show up and just be able to do things. But when the show shows women training and explains what that process is, and then we finally get to see them utilizing that training in a meaningful way, that's still not enough because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Nerdrotic.com.
This is as MCU as it gets. Karen Paige doesn't mean to be doing this. She was badass on her own with her toughness and her grit. Part of her resilience is being able to think her way around people who are stronger than her in dangerous situations. And she's still brave enough and clever enough to work her way through that. No, now she's just beating her way through it.
I guess media literacy doesn't work for Gary. So let me explain to you what was being conveyed in this season with Karen, because you don't seem to get it. I'm going to keep it real simple, and once I say it out loud, you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So Karen has been battling with Matt all season long on what's the correct way to deal with Kingpin, because everything they've tried up until this point hasn't worked. They put him in jail, he gets out. They go out and they beat up his minions, he keeps going. They've attacked him at every turn, whether it be legally or physically. They've done everything they can do. Karen's even said, we have to take him out for good. Like these are the questions they've been having all season long about how to deal with Kingpin, how to deal with everything that's happening. Karen quite literally gets arrested, gets put on trial, and has to be exonerated on that trial, while also having Kingpin's thugs in the courtroom. All of that has been happening. They find out that all of the legal stuff they've been doing this season, all of the things they've been doing this season that has happened, none of it has worked. And they've been struggling and struggling and struggling. They're looking for a W. Kingpin has put everyone's back against the wall. And they are showing that sometimes the way that you want things to work out, it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes whatever your belief system is, you have to change that belief system to match the energy in front of you. And so Karen is matching that energy and also showcasing that she has learned some self-defense from Matt throughout the season that works on someone who happens to be one of these anti-vigilante task force members, which, by the way, we also know that these guys in the anti-vigilante task force aren't the best trained guys. We've already established that. Some of them aren't as good as others. So it's just this MCU shit doesn't make any sense at all in this. She is still very much a supporting character of the show. Very much a supporting character. If you go through and you count Karen's screen time this season, it's probably minutes of the season. Absolute minutes. And most people that like Karen would argue that she doesn't get enough time. Most people would argue that Marvel doesn't pay enough attention to the women in Daredevil Born Again. He's also missing the fact that they literally killed off a woman this season. They killed off Vanessa. But it's the MCU. Women are girl bosses. And they always do things better than men. But they killed off one of the most prominent women in the show this season, which made a lot of people angry. And they've given Karen a storyline that allows her to meet the moment. That's still not enough. It's never going to be enough. There's an unreachable expectation when it comes to narrative. It doesn't make sense. But let's let him continue.
It's so fucking modern Disney Marvel.
I just don't understand why they don't have girls fight like girls. Like when you see those viral videos.
What does fight like a girl mean in this moment? Chris, she was trained by Matt. Why would she be quote unquote fighting like a girl? How does that make any sense whatsoever?
Of women beating up other
Hair
women,
pulling.
or they're pulling hair, they're punching like this. It's like a weird.
So you want like street cat fights from like baddies or something? Is that what you want? You want the Bad Girls Club? That's your interpretation of women fighting? This is so try hard. Again, it's fucking try hard. It's garbage. This isn't actual criticism.
You know, overhand
Well,
kind
she's
of
been training all season, Chris.
slap,
Yes.
like a slap fight. Thanks for taking the hit on all this, Gary. I don't have to watch it.
I'm not even going to bother with season 3.
I'm watching her movements, and it's like none of it has power behind it. I don't understand how they let her get away without training.
Is X-Ray Girl a martial artist or something? Is she a brawler? Is she an MMA? What do you mean? No power behind it. What does that even fucking mean? And why are you so fixated on a 10-second portion of an hour-long episode of television?
Like proper training.
Yeah, if they're
A 12-minute video about this.
if you're gonna train up your actress, train, get ripped.
She's not.
At least look the part.
So you think Karen? Oh my fucking God! I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna fucking crash out. You think Karen Page is going to all of a sudden become like Ronda Rousey over the course of like a couple of weeks? You think that's like, we're talking about maybe a month worth of time that this is taking place in. She's going to go from Karen Page to like some ripped fucking powerful character that looks like she works out every day? Are you fucking... Would that really make a difference? Would that really make a difference? Would you all of a sudden be like, well, she worked out. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay with everything else she did in the season. All of it's fine as long as she works out. Problem solved. You heard it here, Marvel. All you got to do with your women when you have them punch someone is make sure they look like they have muscles.
You know, don't look like you just got back from shopping. Oh, season 3, the Defenders are coming back because the Defenders show was so great.
I remember buying Defenders #1 off the rack, dude. It was like Doctor Strange.
It's an adaptation of a comic book title. That is it. Complaining about what it's not is not actual criticism. If you're going to criticize a thing, you have to criticize it for what it is, not what it isn't, because we could do that all day. We could do that all day. I could criticize every movie that ever existed for everything that they are not versus what they actually put on screen. If you don't like the Defenders TV show, that's fine. But criticizing the Defenders TV show for not being this comic book is not engaging with the TV show. That's not actual criticism.
Hulk. It was weird combo, the first Defenders.
Now, Luke Cage and Daredevil were in the Defenders later on, but the Defenders was a weird team and a much cooler team. But it started out as Namor, Doctor Strange, and Hulk, and then Silver Surfer was added, and Valkyrie.
Again, we're not criticizing the quality of the show. You're just going, these characters aren't in it. Great. Wonderful. I wasn't aware that Hulk, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Namor, and Valkyrie were not in Defenders. I'm glad you're reminding me and telling me about this instead of actually talking about the quality of the show.
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
The Defenders faded towards the end and it had a couple X-Men in it. And yeah. But the early days it was awesome. It was ridiculous. It was like these super powered superheroes. But they all, they went up against like gods and monsters and stuff. So yeah, it was horrifically bad. I'm very interested to see what Eve.
Horrifically bad. Highest rated episode of live action Marvel TV to date. To date. Horrifically bad is a massive overstatement. And I've said this before, art is subjective. You can absolutely not like something, but you can also overstate how much you dislike something. Horrifically bad is an overstatement of this product, because you're telling me that you watched this whole thing and you disliked all of it? None of it was good? Somehow I find that hard to believe.
Thinks of this one. Because they are going, it's going to be bad. It's a show that nobody's watching. It probably doesn't cost a lot of money. That's the one thing, is there's not any CG I can think of. I'm sure there's some, but like not a lot. So it's probably cheaper. They could turn it around faster. The disappointing thing is they had something that worked so well, and you can't like not compare it to the Netflix series, which was so good. And this is,
if you've watched any of the interviews, the podcasts after these episodes air that go up on Disney Plus, and I've watched all of them. As a matter of fact, I've reacted to a lot of them on my Reloaded channel. Everyone involved with this is very excited to work with people who did work on the original. The showrunner came from Punisher over at Netflix, and a vast majority of the main cast of the show came from the Netflix show. And they actually changed it to make it more like the Netflix show. So all of this is dumb. This is dumb.
Not even close to that level. It is Temu everything.
Temu Daredevil.
Temu Daredevil. And this is with Vincent D'Onofrio, which makes it even more.
So what is the metric then, guys, I have an honest question. What's the metric? Is it the actors that make things bad, good? Is it the writers? Is it the team? Is it the production studio? Is it Disney? Is it Marvel? Is it Netflix? What makes these things bad? The main showrunner is a writer from the Netflix era. So what makes it bad? They don't, that's it. Timu Daredevil, no explanation really, other than I didn't like this thing, or making fun of Karen Page for not looking like Sigourney Weaver or something like that. Like this is where we're at with the criticism. Saying the Defenders wasn't the Defenders from the comics. Congratulations. We already knew that. We already knew that. That's not new news.
Disappointing, right? It just shows like you can bring all the actors back you want. Hell, even if they brought back Stephen DeKnight, I'm not sure it would be as good. It would be better.
So what is the bar then? What is the bar? You're saying even if they brought back the guy that was writing the whole season, even if you brought him back, it would be bad. So literally, what are we doing? Why are you still even engaging with it? I'm glad he said he's not going to be watching season 3. Let's see when season 3 rolls around and they're struggling for content, if he holds to that, or if we're back to MCU at that point. Bookmark this one, because he said he's not even going to bother with season 3.
Better than this.
I just think that the infrastructure Disney has to make these things results in this.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that in detail? What is that infrastructure, Chris? Explain in detail what that is. Tell us. Don't just say big words. The infrastructure of the dynamic of the superseding specialization of like those don't mean anything. When you say that, explain what you mean. Explain what the problem is with the infrastructure. When I press play, I want you to explain in detail what you mean by that. Please do that for me. I would respect you so much more if you would just explain what you mean. Just saying words like that doesn't actually explain anything.
Yes.
This might be their best Disney Plus Marvel TV thing. I'm saying.
Horrifically bad. It's the best. Chris Gore said he's not even watching it. Chris Gore said he's not even watching it, according to how he responded to Gary. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but how are you going to have Gary saying it's horrifically bad and it's Timu Daredevil, and then you got Chris Gore who's like, it's probably the best thing. Probably, bro, you said you're not even watching it. So how do you know?
This is the best they are capable of doing.
Razorfist called it the least bad, and it might be as far as series are concerned, right? Werewolf by Night, I thought that was fine. Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, that was fine.
So we're talking about specials and not shows.
But as far as live action series, this might be the least worst. It is earnest. They don't have stupid Marvel humor in it at all. The problem is, it felt like they approached this with, we need to be like Netflix. So each scene was approached with, how can we make this like the Netflix series without really knowing how to do it or having the ability to do it?
The showrunner came from that era, but continue.
And a lot of it was filling time. We wasted so much time on side characters. With no doubt, the most evil villain in this series is BB Urick. BB Urick.
Right. The black woman. The black woman, the one that is trying to expose the corrupt character who's a white guy. Clearly the biggest villain of the series is BB Urick. Because she chose to stand up against authoritarianism. And that happens to be a bunch of white guys in office. So I want to hear him explain this one. Please explain to me how BB is the villain of the series.
We wasted so much time on side characters. With no doubt, the most evil villain in this series is BB Urick. BB Urick is the worst person imaginable in this series. She's worse than Kingpin killing 50 people.
She's worse than a man who is killing people. BB Urick is worse than a man who is sending out his personal police to round up individuals and lock them in cages with no trial whatsoever. Now, you guys know I don't like to throw around the term racist on here. I say people exude racist behavior or they say racist things. But I have to say, this feels very racist to me. I don't know if it is, but it feels like it is.
She's work because she has no soul. She has no freaking soul. She is just activist character. So I guess they kind of accurately portrayed an activist. And I said it last night. An activist is no different than the people they hate. Politics.
I need y'all to sit on that for a moment. Just sit on it for a moment. An activist is no different than the people they hate. She just happens to be a black woman. Shocker. You're going to ignore the fact she's just an activist character. You're going to ignore the fact that she has a full-on like friendship and relationship with Daniel, and that there was a struggle all season between these two characters and what she was doing and how she was handling it. We're just going to ignore that. Which, by the fucking way, he just complained that they spent too much time on side characters. So we are in Schrodinger's side character box. You don't like the fact that her character, in your opinion, was a one-dimensional activist character, but you simultaneously also don't like the fact that they spent too much time with side characters. I don't even need to say anything about that.
In power, or a CEO who doesn't see people as humans. They see them as a means to an end to achieve a goal to obtain power. So James Gandolfini's son dies for her. They don't show one.
No, he dies for himself. He dies for putting himself in the position of bootlicking a fascist. That is why he ended up in that position. The dude buried a body for Kingpin. He tells Bibi this before he even lets her go. Daniel is not a victim here. I like Daniel as a character. I think he's an interesting character. He is not a victim. He participated in the cover-up. When he makes the decision to not turn Bibi in, he does so knowing there's a high probability he's going to get killed. And he already understands that what he has done, burying the body of someone, is a step too far for him because he followed someone that he believed in. And therefore, the fruits of his labor are him actually taking responsibility for that. Bibi did not make Daniel bury someone's body. Bibi did not make Daniel do all of these things in the name of Kingpin. If you watch the episode, you will see Daniel has to make those decisions on his own, and he stabs Bibi in the back.
Single scene of her crying, feeling bad. No, the first time they show her do something was she plasters his picture up on her social media so she can rile up the troops. Which is exactly the storyline they're telling with her in the show. It's literally her storyline. The show does not hand wave it. He's used for propaganda. That's it. And then she gets... Yes! Yes! Congratulations! She is using propaganda against propaganda. Because in this situation, she thought that was the right thing to do. The show does not make that morally superior. There's a gray area there. They talk about it in the show. It is part of her storyline. Her dad's office that she didn't earn, and she puts a picture of James Gandolfini's son. So are we going to go off on the fact that Kingpin and every other character in the show has benefited from unearned concessions? No, it's just Bibi. Bibi's the only one. She's the only person on the show that has received some sort of unearned benefit from existing on the show. None of the other characters have.
But this isn't racist, right?
In there. And I got so pissed. I'm like, you bitch. How dare you put his picture there? I didn't even like him as a character. I thought the acting was terrible. They didn't even think, like, maybe we should show her feeling bad. Like, I don't know, a little scene of her getting sick, of like throwing up in her bathroom over this. And
right. Because nothing says conveying emotion like just doing a trope. Sure. Let's do the trope stuff, the crying, the vomiting, all of that sounds like it really works in the show when we know BB is not that kind of character. Okay.
And feeling the repercussions for what she has done. She
didn't do anything to Daniel. Stop pretending like the white guy got in trouble because the black girl was doing something. That's not what happened. Daniel was participating in criminal activities and he helped bury a body. I'm not going to stop saying that.
Used her friend. He died for her. But no, she acts like
for her. Well, he died for what he did. He did not die for BB.
That's what he should have done. And the fact that you don't think about even writing this in the script for a couple of minutes, and we could have had less Kirsten McDuffie or any of that other stupid shit, shows that they missed the boat on that one.
But you didn't like her. You didn't like her storyline anyway. So giving her a couple of extra minutes would not have changed your opinion on her.
Because, Drew Goddard, Stephen DeKnight would have thought about doing something like that.
Would have. Right. So now we're just creating stuff. We're creating things. Here's this thing that I didn't like, so I'm going to say that this other person would have done it differently, and that's my story. That proves that I'm right. It's not how it works.
It might seem little, but it's not, because the character is horrible.
Doesn't that reveal the character of the people writing the show?
Yep.
What are you even doing? You didn't watch the fucking TV show, Chris. You didn't watch it. You're getting all this fed to you like a baby bird with Nerdrotic vomiting it into your mouth. He's going out and collecting the worms and chewing them up and then spitting them out in your mouth. And you're like, now I know everything about the show. Now I can give criticism about the show. Shut the fuck up. You didn't watch it.
That's my point. This is where even
you don't have a point because you didn't watch the show.
Take this to DC. James Gunn's Superman, Superman's James Gunn. He couldn't write Superman.
No.
So because you didn't watch the show, you have no real thing to say about it. So now we're doing anti-James Gunn Superman drama. The movie came out last year, bro. We're heading into Supergirl. Like, we're not doing greatest hits at the moment. It's supposed to be about Daredevil. Why are we talking about James Gunn and Superman?
Right, Superman, you have to understand heroism. And Gunn's heroes, if you look at Guardians, they're different. They're different, and they're fine for that.
What are we doing?
It does not work for Superman at all.
Chris.
What? Why are we talking about Superman, Chris? Well, we jumped from Daredevil TV show to James Gunn not being able to write Superman?
If you're handing DC Comics the control of the DC Comics,
I don't give a fuck about this. We're done. I don't want to sit here and listen to them talk about James Gunn and Superman. Like, the video is 12 minutes long. We're 7 minutes in. We're done with the criticism of Daredevil, which is essentially Karen Paige is bad woman, BB is bad black woman, white guy is a product of what her decision. Obviously, he was an actual criminal. He was actually burying bodies. He was actually participating in fascism. But he is the victim because the person who is anti all of those things, someone who is out there fighting back against all of those things, that person's actions, now the result of those actions are all completely the blame for this criminal getting what he deserves in the show. It's all on them. Karen Page wasn't ripped. BB didn't cry enough, didn't throw up enough on camera. Show is awful. That's what we got here. Keep in mind, the title of this video is Disney Can't Write Marvel. Daredevil crumbles again, season 2. MCU takes over Hell's Kitchen. So as I'm watching this video, we are now at the point where they're talking about James Gunn Superman. So I'm going to assume we're done talking about Daredevil. Because why did you leave that in there? This is an edited clip. You could have taken it out. If it's not important, get rid of it. But no, they left it in, which tells me we're probably done with any real criticisms of Daredevil at this point. I'm not going to sit here and listen to them talk about James Gunn Superman. We spent over half the video complaining about 2 women in the show who had very little screen time. No criticisms about the other characters. Just saying, hey, it would have been better if Steven would have wrote it. But then a few minutes ago, you said Steven couldn't even save the show. You said that when you talked about Dario not being the person for it. But now Steven would have done better. He would have written it better. Wow. Interesting. This is all over the place. 100% all over the place. So much narrative, so much cope, so much dumb shit, racist shit. You got 3 people on stream. One of them barely talks. The other one didn't watch the show. And Nerdrotic is bad faithing.